A little bit of movement in Crowdstrike, but not out yet. Flutter's out. So since we're talking short-term trade, we might as well talk a little, the other stuff too. Prediction markets. Yeah, we can call them that. Maybe a little gambling, perhaps. Crowdstrike did just come out there and got hit. Let me read you through some Flutter numbers real fast because I think a lot of people are still very much interested in this market. All right, so adjusted EPS 294. Street was looking for $1.73. That's pretty good. U.S. outlook for revenue, this is in the United States, for their fiscal 2025, 7.47 to 7.97. Street was only looking for 7.7. We're seeing some of the growth numbers up there with revenue climbing by 14%. I don't know what else to say other than this market is just cranking right now. They've got 14.6 million average monthly players. I don't know, maybe a tiny bit below some of the estimates, KG. I mean, the market seems to be okay with it, though.
Yeah, because if you're looking at the adjusted EBITDA, it seems like it's having incremental improvements to the upside. And that's really the key, right? The profitability metric of this company. And what's actually very interesting in times like this, in times of economic stress, what actually does perform? Gambling stocks, casinos, alcohol, tobacco, right? And so this actually might be one of those plays where it does get a little bit of love because it has that secular trend in its favor when it comes to the expansion of gambling across the country. So I think the market's okay with it for now, and I think the EBITDA number is really the key metric for it.
Okay, certainly competition, but a lot of interest. However, there's definitely some reflexivity. There's some convexity to this. To KG's point, people will gamble basically until they can't, and then it goes to zero.
There's also an embedded
they're gambling, not the stock.
international component to Flutter as well, with Betfair and some of the stuff that they have in their Irish and European operations that sometimes I think is forgotten about. But this is a two-horse race when it comes to these big online sports books. And FanDuel is one of them. So they're in the right place right now. It's just how much more jurisdiction do they get? Okay,
Crowdstrike, let's go there. Stock is down 370. That's about a $20 sell-off from the close. A lot of hope riding high that Crowdstrike would continue to carry on the torch of secular spending in cloud and security. But it looks like they're still having maybe some ramifications of their own missteps with their blackout, because the bottom line adjusted EPS that I see is not close to the analyst estimate for the first quarter outlook, 64 to 66 cents. I'm pretty sure analysts were looking for closer to a full $1. So that's pretty far off. The outlook for their next year revenue could get up to 4.8 billion. Street was looking for 477. I think that number's fine, though. Their midpoint is basically where the estimate was. So it looks like maybe some profitability issues here, KG. Is any of that because they had to coax people to stick around?
Yeah, that's going to be the direct result of providing those discounts. It's going to eat into your margins. It really doesn't explain the top line miss, though, when it comes to guidance. So maybe they are seeing a little bit of a slowing, maybe an elongation of the sales cycle. I do not have the remaining performance obligation. So if you guys see that, let me know. That's also going to be a key metric. That's going to show the backlog of business that they have, which they intend to realize within the next 12 to 16 months. That shows you future growth. And I would suspect that if that also came in a little bit light, the stock will probably get hit on that as well.
Okay. Alex, what do you think? Disappointing?
Yeah, disappointing just because it was a stock that had made pretty much a full recovery. I know it had pulled back just a little bit. I was trying to pull up and see if I could find those RPO numbers on Crowd, which I have not yet, and they're not. It doesn't look like they're posted just yet, at least not on Bloomberg. But still, a company that's grown at a really nice rate. I know that the margin being squeezed a little bit based off that guidance is going to be a concern for the street, but there's not a lot of companies growing at 25% revenue growth, in this environment.
They definitely deserve credit for that. I mean, sounds like they're still crushing it, and there sounds like that people are their customers are pretty much stuck with them in like a whole stack of products that is a bit of a entanglement to try and get out of if they feel they have to. And basically everybody's answer was to just stick with them, essentially. But obviously not for free. So the earnings kind of miss there. All right, well, no relief from Crowdstrike. So hoping maybe we get a nice tech rally for us this afternoon, but not happening. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Kevin Green. Thanks, Alex Coffey.